statement from head coach Tracy Claeys, and then we'll open it up for questions. So, Beth, when you're ready, we'll go ahead and start.
Good morning. We are pleased to announce Tracy Claeys as the new head football coach at the University of Minnesota. Given the improvement of this program, both academically and athletically, and Coach Claeys' essential leadership role, we have great confidence that he is the right coach to lead this program and our student athletes. We know that Coach Claeys and his staff will continue to recruit talent and develop excellent young men, both on and off the field, while building on Jerry Kill's strong foundation. Tracy will bring his own energy and commitment to excellence while embracing Gopher Athletics' unwavering commitment to his student athletes. In addition to transforming Gophers' defense into one of the best in the Big Ten, Tracy was Minnesota's acting head coach in 2013 for 7 games and led the Gophers to a 4-3 overall mark. This includes consecutive wins against Northwestern, Nebraska, Indiana, and Penn State. It was the first time since 1973 that our football program won 4 straight conference games in the season. After reviewing Tracy's career and his leadership and development of our student athletes in the time he has been here at the university, we made the determination that Tracy was the leader to whom we wanted to entrust our football program and our student athletes. I strongly believe we have a head coach and staff to continue the momentum and build a successful Big Ten football program long into the future.
Thank you, Beth. And Coach Claeys?
I'd like to thank Beth, President Kaler, Dean Johnson's here on the board for their support and trust in me to represent the University of Minnesota and be in charge of as the head football coach. It's a great honor to follow a guy who trained all of us very well, and Coach Kill, and what Rebecca meant to all of us and their family. And I can't wait to actually get this over and get started, officially. I did talk to Coach last night, and the last thing I tried to get him to do was to take those last 2 games on his record since I'm officially starting today. So, our kids have done a tremendous job. We'll continue to build on the same principles. Education's important, and competing for a Big Ten championship. And we'll do it the right way to make the whole state proud. So, again, thank you very much for the opportunity.
We'll now open up for questions. Please make sure you address the appropriate individual.
Tracy, what's the number one thing you learned from Coach Kill, not just as a football coach, but his recruiting and people skills and all those things over there?
Well, I think there's 2 things. One is how you treat people. You know, I mean, you treat people with respect, and you know, and along with that, it's don't judge people till you walk in their steps. If you haven't walked in their footsteps, don't judge people. There's good in everybody. There really is, and so to respect people and how you treat them, and you'll get a lot farther along in life than the alternative way.
Coach, can you talk about how you're going to put your personality, your stamp on this team, that you'll be different from Coach Kill?
Well, like I said, we do. We have different personalities, and different personalities have different pet peeves, little things. So little things may have bothered him that didn't bother me, and vice versa. And so as the season goes on, that'll probably take over. But there won't be any major. You know, we're right here in the middle of the season. We got 3 big games left that we feel good about. Kids are excited, and so you won't see anything tremendously major here in the next 3 weeks. And then, like we always do when the season's over, we'll evaluate everything and you know, be a few adjustments to fit my personality.
That job requires more than just coaching. You saw Jerry, how much he's out in the community, doing all the external things. Have you kind of come to grips with that part of it, and how you're going to handle not being in the field room all day?
Well, I think that getting up, we do a lot of our work in the morning, you know, but it all comes down to we have a great staff and trusting the staff. But I'll always be there to watch practice video and do those types of things and be a part of it. But I'm ready to go. You know, it's a lifestyle. It's not a job. You know, it's a lifestyle, and I've been a part of it the last 21 years.
Do you want to be a defensive coordinator as well, or do you want to bring somebody in for that?
You know, right now, you know, Jay has been doing an awful lot of it, Sawvell and the defensive staff, and I sat in there, and so I still think until the end of the year, we'll just see where it all goes. with that part of it. But you know, he's done a great job with him and the staff, so feel good about that. Obviously, I don't have as much time to spend in there to do that, and I need to get to know the offensive kids more. I mean, that's something, being defensive coordinator, it's like a split team during the week as far as who you spend all your time with. And those kids on offense deserve just as much as my time now as the kids on defense did. So that's where I'll try to get to know those kids more.
Beth, what were the factors with you and President Kaler in determining the length of the contract? I guess, was that an easy, conclusion to come to, or how did that play out?
Yeah, you know, you certainly evaluate what's best for the institution and with Coach. And so as we looked at that, you know, the decision was made where the contract's going to run through the end of January here, and then there's another 3 years on top of that. And I think we were all comfortable with where we landed.
Tracy, Jim Rich with Fox 9. When you look at the job, it's a lot of PR work now. You're going to be the face of this university's football program. Your 21 years have been in the background, in the trenches. How comfortable are you taking on this role, being the face of the university?
Very comfortable, very comfortable. I'll represent the university well. You know, it's there's good people here, state of Minnesota. I got to go out last year as part of the outreach with the bus tour. Had a great time visiting with people in Minnesota, and I look forward to doing that more.
Tracy and or Beth, just to be clear now, the assistants that have been part of this for so long, so there's no decision on that today, or what's the timeline in terms of this football staff?
Yeah, the assistants are under contract through the end of January, and then certainly we'll continue to evaluate as we always do.
Tracy, do you have any reservations at all, knowing that, you know, Beth is the interim athletic director right now, but there may be a new athletic director down the line, and many times you got to have a great relationship with that athletic director?
Sure, I get along with people pretty good. Pretty good people person, and I think I could work for a bunch of different personalities with the way I am. But you know, obviously, as the people made the decision what they felt was best for the football program now, that decision will be made later. What's best for the university as far as athletic director. But you know, Beth has been very good to me and been very good to us since we've been here, and so. Hopefully she'll get that opportunity, but I'm sure they'll go through the same process as they did with me.
Beth, can you outline kind of the process that you guys went through and why you guys decided not to go through an official search?
And, you know, we believed in Tracy and his leadership and his abilities to run this football program from the beginning. But with any hire of this magnitude, I mean, it's really important that you do your due diligence. And so we've spent, obviously, a handful of weeks really evaluating all of our options and making sure everybody was comfortable with that process.
Tracy, can you go through your journey a little bit, just in terms of, I always think about, I think you told us once that your mom wanted you not to be a head coach.
Yeah.
And just kind of, you know, like the decision you made when you were a full-time teacher and you took that job for $3,000.
Yeah, and I mean, Coach took a chance on me. I talked to my folks late last night. I called and visited with them, my family, and so I still think she thinks I'm crazy to do this, you know, and she's not very supportive. But yeah, we went back and talked about that a little bit. That you know, them not having a bunch and giving up a full-time teacher salary to go $3,000 with Coach Kill to Saginaw Valley State. But you know, when you're young and you have dreams, just like our kids on the football team, is that you chase those dreams while you can. And I was fortunate enough to get on with a great guy and family and staff. And I've always wanted to do this and be a head coach, but not as long as I work for Coach Kill. Is it he and again, thank God he trained me as good as he did, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity and feel like I'm prepared to do that.
Tracy, did you guys have like sort of specific talks along the way, as sort of him intentionally sort of giving you some of his advice, assuming that you would be a head coach somewhere someday?
Sure, and you know, Coach does that for everybody on the staff. You know, we have a book that has all the information of things that happened each year as far as running the football program. So if anybody took another job or got promoted, he was always all for that. At the same time, he did everything he could through contracts and things like that to keep us all together, because continuity is important.
As far as being the face of the university, have you had to buy some more suits?
Yes, this jacket I did. I had to hurry out and get this done, you know, and it's probably the most, you say, what's the most uncomfortable part of the job? It's the coat and tie. You know, I'd much rather wear a sweater, but I told Beth that one of her main jobs is that when we schedule events to let me know what the attire is supposed to be. So, I'll get more comfortable as the days go by.
Tracy, is it true you did this without an agent?
Yes. Yes, there was no back and forth on contract, anything like that. Like Beth said, we had little discussions, and hey, I wanted the opportunity to be the head football coach here, and we were always on the same page as far as all that goes. So there was no need for an agent, no need for anything else. We got it done.
What was important to you in the process, though, in terms of like, does that length signal to recruits, you know, in terms of, you know, it could have been, for example, a 1 year or something.
Right. And we were talking, and you know, I'm comfortable with 3 years because really any head coach has got 3 years. They can say there's 5 years on the contract. They don't have 3 good years. They're done. You know what I'm saying? So very comfortable with everything about the contract, and you know, it's our job to continue to improve, which we will, and then all that stuff will take care of itself. That's one thing, Coach. Just work hard every day, and things will take care of itself. And I believe that we'll be here for a long time.
Have you shared the news with the kids, and if so, what was their reaction?
Beth came in this morning, and we did it this morning with the kids, and it was a great reaction. You could tell it's a big relief from them. They're excited. It's been a tough 2 weeks on those kids now. I mean, we felt like we lost a best friend having him around all the time. And so it was great to see them smile again and actually look forward to going to class, I think.
What did that reaction mean to you?
Oh, means a lot. It's just like, say, after going to the locker room and winning, the look on their face. This is all about the kids, you know, and making the experience as positive as it can be. At the same time, knowing that they need their education. I would not be sitting here today if I would not have got my education. I'm the first one from my family to ever get a college education. And so that's where that basis always comes from and will. And so it was great to see them smile and we'll make sure. I think the one thing with Beth and OB and all of them, I think we've done everything we can the last 2 weeks to make those kids as comfortable as possible, and I think they appreciate that.
Tracy, I think you mentioned it on the radio recently, but like, with Coach's restaurant and stuff, and just about how you want to, even though you're closing it down, you want to take care of that family. Just if you get into kind of the humble beginnings for the family a little bit and what this contract might mean.
Well, you know, I'll always make sure I take care of family. You know, I mean, that's why one thing I'm very thankful for the way things have worked here at Minnesota even before this. You know, but I mean, the good thing is when you are raised and you don't have a lot, I think it keeps you humble. You know, for me to go home, it keeps me humble. I feel guilty when I go home. You know, and my folks still work extremely hard and for what they have and what football coaches get paid. Yeah, in that regard, it's a little unfair. You know, at the same time, they always tell me don't feel guilty because you left home, you got your degree and did a lot with it. So, and then, you know, OB, when I don't know how long ago it was, been a while, got here and OB said, don't let what you do become who you are. And I'm very proud of where I come from. That's why I make a point to go back every year because I don't want to forget where I come from. And there's kids come from a lot worse background than me, believe me. You know, I never went to bed at night wondering if somebody cared about me. I always knew that, you know, and so we may not have had as much as other people, but we had a hell of a lot of fun and enjoyed each other.
Coach's is closed?
What's that now?
The restaurant is closed? Though?
Yes, that was best for my folks are getting ready to retire and you know, we just had a discussion and you know, they said, hey, it's yours. We're always going to worry about it when you're not around and when you're coaching. And I just, that's unfair to them. I want them to enjoy their retirement. So we did that and so they can enjoy their retirement. And someday I'll go down that road again.
Last thing on this track, just how big of Claeys Center, how big of a Minnesota fandom do you have there?
It'll get a lot bigger, you know, the issue is that, you know, Kansas State sits about 30 miles from where I was born and raised, so there's an awful lot of Wildcat fans there, and but they're all, you know, the stadium on game day is 15 times bigger, you know, than what my whole hometown is, and so they're all, you know, close community, and I'm sure they're all have great pride in today, and because again, I wouldn't be here without the way I was raised.
We'll take a couple more.
Coach, you talked about dreams of being a head coach. When did those start? How did those change in 2013, and what did you dream about?
Yeah, I mean, I think you always have thoughts of running your own program, and you prepare for that, but I also was smart enough to know that working for a guy like Coach Kill there was no need. I mean, too many people think the grass is greener on the other side. It always is. It's important when you go to work each day, you enjoy the people you work with and the kids you work with. And I can tell you that for the last 21 years, I have loved to get up every morning and go to the office because we have great people and great kids to go to work with. And why take a chance at the same time when coaches let me do things that would help me be a head coach when and if that presented itself.
If his health allows it, will you have Coach Kill on your staff?
I told him he's welcome anytime. I told you he could come in from 8 to noon and be there just as an advisor. But I talk to him 2 or 3 times a week and always will, as a friend and as a coach.
Do we have any more questions? Okay. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
We will have player availability after practice today. It's anticipated to be around 6 p.m. at Gibson, New Jersey.
Are you gonna